Hello everyone, this is Sketchup Tutorials. I'll be teaching you on how to begin with Sketchup using Sketchup. First and foremost, I'm kind of involved in architecture as a field of my expertise. So I've started using Sketchup around 3 years back. It was without any tutorials or anything. I just started using it because I had it downloaded from the Google website. Now the SketchUp has been bought by Trimble. Therefore I can see some improvements. Not that Google hasn't done any improvement or something. Google has done a lot. Quite a lot of it has been done by Google only. But I don't know what's the deal with Trimble and Google and something. Maybe they're collaborating or something. But I can see some sort of visual change in the UI and everything, like the visual appearance and everything, right? So what you do is when you click on the SketchUp symbol, which you might get even in your desktop, you can yeah, you can just get that from the Trimble website. I think it's a trial version of 10 days or 30 days, I'm not sure of it. You can just download it, and here I have my SketchUp make dialog box over here. So what you do is, first of all, before starting any project, what you want to do is you want to set the unit, like that of AutoCAD and everything else. So what you do is you click on this choose template, then this dialog box appears, and then this drop down menu, and there are a lot of options given here. So you might be just a simple modeler, just to just for fun. Maybe you want to model, then you might want to select these areas, right? But if you're kind of looking into architectural design and stuff like that, it doesn't make a lot of difference though. But I think you can just follow whatever it's given here. And since Google SketchUp is kind of related with Google Earth, whatever model you can find in Google has been uploaded from or by using SketchUp. The models are being made by those things. So whatever 3D models you get to see in Google Earth, you're kind of having it from here itself. Yeah, so if you're kind of involved in engineering, then you may want to select all this stuff. Yeah, still whatever, it doesn't make a lot of difference. You can select whatever your choice is. So I would love to select architectural design, since I am into all this stuff, and I'll be mostly speaking related to architectural design in this series of tutorial. So we just click on it, and this is being highlighted. Therefore we can just start using SketchUp. And first thing that appears is okay, this is what I have just installed there. So the basic first appearance of the whole SketchUp would be this whole thingy. Now what you do is you kind of have this guy. The reason why we have it here is because of reference. Since we are will be working on all of the architectural projects and stuff like that, it'll be very necessary for us to know the scale and stuff. We cannot always keep on measuring, so we can have this guy as a reference. I think his height should be around 1.8 meters from head to toe. So we can refer to him and then just deal with the spaces or the dimensions and everything, just approximate dimensions. Yeah, now okay, the first and the foremost thing you want to do is for me, I would like to set this toolbar. I mean, you would have to know it all. Okay, so if you kind of press the scroll button, you're kind of orbiting it. Okay, you can press the scroll button and you can just orbit everything. And then if you have something to select, then you can click using the left click. Yeah, so what you do is, first and the foremost thing which you have to know before you start off with anything is you want to know what is a line tool, right? That is the first basic requirement. So you can just click on it, or you can press L key on the keyboard. It's the same thing, right? So you select any point, and then you can see this green axis, and then if you keep it like this, you see it turns into blue, and then when you keep it this way, it turns into red. This is nothing but the coordinates. Like blue actually means if you press escape, you can actually get out of the command without doing any changes, right? So if you press this, yeah, you see this blue line over here. This actually shows the vertical axis, something like XYZ axis, right? So this is the x-axis. You can take it as x-axis, and this one is the y-axis. So whatever model you're making, you can just refer to all these axes, and um, you can just orient them. However, you can just change the orientation using this particular symbol axes, right? You change the minor axis, major axes, and then just you can even move it if you according to your comfort zone or whatsoever. So what we do is we select this line tool, and then we click anywhere. Okay, we just click anywhere, and then this is there. So if you're kind of getting this red color, this actually means that the red this particular line is parallel to the red axis, which is the x-axis, right? So we can just enter the value. Like we're working in millimeters. So if you want to make a line of say 5 5 meters, that would be 5,000 mm. So we just type in 5,000 and then just press enter. So yeah, there we get it. So this line would be measuring 5 meters. Okay, so you can just press escape and then exit the command, or you can just go upon this one. This is the select button, so it restores to the default condition which was being given to you when you start up this software. What you do is that yeah, you can even go to the select button by pressing the space bar. It's the same thing. So what you do is you can just select this entity. You can select like this, and if it turns blue, it is showing that it has been selected. And you can just right click on it, and you can click on entity info. So this is the info button which you'll be using always very often in order to recheck the dimensions and everything. So we can find it here that the length is given as 5,000 mm, which is 1 meters. Yeah, so I mean we can just cross check this way. So what I want to do is I just want to keep this thing here, okay, on the side, so that will be more comfortable for me to use it always. So what I do is, let's make another line. I'm pressing the keyboard shortcut L, and I'm making just a random line of whatever dimensions it may be. I'm just visually assuming, and so if you want to find out the if you want to find out the what is it if you want to find out the length of this one, then what you want to do is you just select this one, and you can just see the length which is given over here. It just tells you what is the dimension, what is the length of it, or if it's a arc, you can even find radius. So this is the symbol of the arc. They have quite changed it from the SketchUp 7 or 8. But then if you just press it, first what they ask you is you have to select the first point. So you can either select this whatever bulging dotted points which you find at the end. It automatically snaps into it. There's no way to actually disable the snapping part of it in as far as I know in SketchUp, unlike AutoCAD and Rhino and other stuff. So what you do is you select the first point, and then secondly you select the second point, and then you specify the radius. Again, here you see the green axis over here, which is getting extended as I protrudes, right? Something. Okay, sorry. Protrudes. Okay. Yeah. So this actually shows that this is parallel to the plane which we're working on, which is the floor plan level, right? How do you see? It's in the XY axis, XY plane. So if you take it this way, you might get a blue, which means that it's vertical. So the arc which you're kind of forming, it's going to it's going towards the z axis, which is the vertical one, right? So what we want to do is I just want to create in the xy plane. So I press it here, and the interesting thing about SketchUp is that in order to form a plane, you should always have a closed surface. So let's take line and then just make a closed surface from here, using this line. So I'll just repeat it again. If you select this line tool and then you bring the cursor somewhere near to the end point, it automatically snaps. Even if you bring it towards the middle, it will snap to the midpoint of it. Okay. There's only two options. You can either snap it to the midpoint or to the end point. That's the only thing. Or in case of art you have segments, right? It can either snap to the endpoints of the segment or to the edges, which is showing as red, right? So if they show you as a green, then it means that it's an endpoint, right? And then if you snap to the midpoint, it will show as blue, and if you snap to the edges, it shows as a red. So this is the color coding from which you can understand. And if it shows a dark blue, and it is saying that it is from the face, so you can just make any line from the face or from the edges or from, it's something similar to that of AutoCAD snapping, auto snap or something, if you're familiar with AutoCAD. Yeah, so what we want to do is we want to create a closed surface. I'll start from this endpoint. I started like this, and then I'm drawing. Okay, okay, I'm drawing something. Okay, some shape. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah. So it forms a plane. So the basic thing which we have to know in SketchUp is that a closed surface, okay, a closed loop will all obviously make a surface, but if it's kind of open, or if you kind of delete even a single step from that thing, then there's no way you can form a closed surface. Okay, I mean, yeah, you can form a surface. Now that's the basic requirement of the SketchUp, what you need to know in SketchUp before starting. And what you have is, you can scroll out, you can scroll in for zooming out and zooming in, and you can press the scroll button in order to orbit. It's called as orbit. Or if you want, you can even go go to this thing. Yeah, this is orbit. They have kind of changed the symbol, that's why I'm getting confused. Okay, so you can just change this orbit, and yeah, you can just orbit it. You can just click and orbit it, but I feel more comfortable orbiting using this scroll button, because you need not go and select this orbit again and whatsoever, unless you want to show that model to someone who doesn't know how to use SketchUp. Then you might want to put this thing in, and so that he or she can just revolve around. Fine. And then this hand tool, it's similar to pressing the scroll button and holding the shift and then just pressing it and dragging, right? So for now we have selected this hand tool. We can just pan like this. Okay, it just goes in parallel. The image doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't change the orientation or whatsoever, it just changes the parallelity of the whole thingy. Now what we want to do is that, let's go back to the select tool. You press the shift, any of the shift, left or right, it doesn't matter, and then you press the scroll button. The same thing happens. Like, instead of choosing this hand button, you can just press shift and then scroll button, and the same thing happens. So I would suggest you to get used to this stuff, like this is orbit, and if you press shift, and then this one is hand tool, and then zoom out, zoom in, instead of using all of these, zoom out, zoom in, and then something. Okay, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It will slow down your process. It will it will basically make you lag everything. Okay. Okay. Since this is my first tutorial, I'm kind of having a lot of difficulty in framing all the sentences and stuff. I apologize for this one. Okay. So, and yeah, the basic thing about the toolbar is that I would like you to basically get rid of this given default toolbar because I don't prefer it. What you do is you go to toolbars, you go to view, and then you go to toolbars, and here you can find first at first, I mean, this is what I said before. At first you'll be getting this getting started toolbar, which is kind of short, and if you click on large tool set, you can see the difference. You have a lot of other options than the getting started toolbar. So you can just disable this getting started toolbar, and you can just keep on using this one, right? You can keep on using this large set toolbar wherein you get everything else. Okay, and you can also turn on shadow layer, and you can even turn on views. This is really necessary if you're working in architectural projects and stuff. And then for now you kind of need, yeah, that's all. I think that's pretty much it. And you need layers as well. Yeah, yeah, so you need layers, and yeah, so you do this and then you can just close it. And for rearranging all of these things, you can uh, click on the edges wherein you can see this a bit of shadow outline. The cursor will change. This actually shows the move tool symbol. So this is similar to this one, but okay, you cannot select this and you cannot move this one, right? But what I'm saying is this is actually representing the move command. So you just click on this one and just drag it and just keep it anywhere. It'll just get arranged automatically. And this one is a view. So what you do is you just click on the upper task, I don't know, something upper portion of it, and then just place it somewhere here. And this is the layer, which is kind of necessary because when you're creating a layer, you can choose this object, and then you can select whatever layer you want to assign this to. And what you do now is that you click on this one. This is a layers property dialog box, and this is something similar to uh, the layer property panel in AutoCAD, what we have in AutoCAD. So we can add layers, we can rename it, we can assign colors, we can disable, we can, you know, disable the visibility and stuff like that, or we can even subtract, you know, we can even delete these layers and stuff like that. So we can do the job of creating and disabling the layers here. Yeah, that's pretty much for now. I'll be continuing the next set of getting started tools and getting familiar with everything in the next tutorial. Thank you.